Hello everybody, it's Rick. It's Sunday, October 30th. It's been a while since I've made a video. A lot of things have been going on since I last spoke to everybody, and I don't know where to begin. In my last video I was talking about how I was filing a deprivation of rights against this judge in federal court. I was adding her to the docket. Say dated September 16th. That was my last video. They accepted it in mail on September 19th. Now get ready. This is hysterical. So what happened was they got it. They must have brought it up to her chambers. This judge, or whatever you want to call her. I don't call her a judge because she doesn't act like a judge. She's a bully. Another woman judge who's a bully. And she must have got really mad, and then this is what she did. Now this woman dismissed my case summarily without any evidence, nothing, no sworn affidavits from the other party. They just basically all my notices that I file in a court of record on the common law, all the evidence I submitted evidence from the clerk's office, as I've done on my other videos, that there are no records of recorded judgments for money judgments, meaning they're void. All of these things were ignored. And then last November 2nd, almost a year to the day, she dismissed it. Also, on October 9th, I filed an order to show cause. They wouldn't see me. So anyway, I submitted this. Now this is look how big this is. All right, this is very serious, right? Below is evidence to support that the rights and privileges of Richard Wahmann Jr., which are secured by the United States Constitution, it's supposed to be protected by this court, and Margo K.Brodie were trespassed upon by Margo K.Brodie by her repeated failing to perform the sworn duties of a United States District Judge, for which she has no discretion to refuse the evidence in support of claim, which were submitted as notices to the court before November 2nd, 2015. What notices are, it's like they're like motions, but what you're doing is you're notifying the court. Motions, you're asking for permission. Notices, you're telling them. Anyway, I know that November 2nd, decision order attempting to dismiss this claim were presented to Margo K.Brodie, proving that there was more than enough evidence for this claim to move forward. And for the motion to dismiss submitted by Christopher V. Colston, he's the Assistant Attorney General for New York State, and that's what they represent all the New York State employees. Anyway, she granted that motion. Now, from that, I've been fighting it. I refuse to appeal it because it's not appealable. They've never given me the jurisdiction I demanded. They just basically ignoring me. They ignored everything. I mean, she don't even acknowledge these things. So anyway, I submitted this to get it on the docket. I did a really good job because I noticed I documented all the notices. I exhibited all the notices I submitted. I ordered them that I want a court of record. Now, in a court of record, the judges are not judges; they're magistrates on the common law, and they have to act independent of the tribunal or the jury. That's why the jury makes the decision. You understand? Now, the Bar Association basically took over our courts, a long time ago, and because of television shows and movies, we're all programmed that when a judge yells at you, you have to, bow your head and say, "Sorry, ma'am, sorry, sir," and you got to take it. And also the lawyers, because the lawyers work in the courts. So the lawyers have to take it because that's where they work. Now, you piss off one judge, they all stick together. So that's why, the lawyers, they bow their heads and they go along, even if they know it's wrong. They don't care. They're getting paid anyway, so they don't care if you're getting screwed over. So anyway, they don't go through stuff like you and I because they all know each other, So anyway, this was submitted. Now, this is classic. what does it say? September 14th. September 14th. And look at this, not for publication, which is hysterical. So this is not going to show up on the pacer on the computer. So this is basically, she's telling them it's not for publication because she doesn't want anybody that might go on pacer to see that she ordered the clerks in the clerk's office not to accept my paperwork anymore. Because she got mad that I had the audacity to file a notice of claim, a trespass against her. And then she retroactively issues an order after this was already accepted. So look at this, 19th, and this is issued on the 14th. And this came to my house with no explanation, just this order. All right? And I filed some other papers. Look at this, October 6th. Somebody must have screwed up and gave it to this knucklehead, Douglas C. Palmer, who's the clerk. And in this, I'm telling him I convened a court of record. And everything's being ignored. And I demanded some answers. I filed an error, a writ of error quorum nobis right here. Right? They accepted it. And they must have realized, oh my God, like I'm putting down here, Margo K.Brodie's actions were independent of common law, therefore not recorded or recognized by this court of record. It's my court. All right? Anytime you convene a court, it's your court. That's why when you watch these movies or these TV shows, you see these judges going, "They're not in my court." And that's not your court, pal. Well, you know, you don't own the courts. You work in the courts. You know, so these people are out of control. Now, you know, I got a lot of hard work ahead of me. That's why I haven't, you know, been on the computer, and also I'm being, I'm being watched by these people because I went to family court on the 17th, and when I went in there, this piece of shit, Sudeep Kaur. Now, my ex-wife didn't show up, or her lawyer, so they basically defaulted. But she knew, and she started busting my chops because I had my phone in my pocket. And she knew I was recording it, and I refused to turn it off. And I'll put that video up in the near future. I have to go to court tomorrow and file an order to show cause because this showed up in the mail yesterday. This is the New York City Sheriff's Department. Now look, this is how slick they are. My name is in all capital letters. Case 160, whatever that is. I never even heard of that before. Dear Richard Wahmann, confidential documents issued out of court. They don't tell you what court. Have been filed with this office. These documents concern you personally and are of great importance. Please come to one of our offices most convenient to your home. So this is the warrants. Now, the New York City Sheriff's Department, they are the officers of the courts. All right? If you look up their mission statement on the computer, they're the ones who enforces the court rules. They're supposed to, if you have a court order, you're supposed to go to them. But see, everything's kept secret in New York City, in New York State, because they don't want anybody to notice. So, remember in my last video, in one of my videos, I told you that when they tell you that you owe money for child support and it's not recorded in the clerk's office, that you got to go to the police. Well, here you go, right here. This is who you go to. Now, I know this is because they're not giving any more money for child support anymore. My pension's not giving them the money anymore. The judge issued a stay, and they put a stay on the order, so the order's supposed to be frozen. But these criminals in the child support office, they don't follow the law. They just want their money because they have a lot of incentives. I'm convinced they got to probably reach their quarterly goals and everything. So they don't care whose lives they destroy. Who's all the money they can steal out of your bank account, and you've seen my videos where I've shown you they're forgeries. All right, so now I prepared a nice long response. I also have the evidence from the clerk's office that there is no court orders recorded. So I'm going to use this to my advantage. All right, I'm also going to use this to go to court tomorrow and see this judge because they don't like to see me when I'm there. He's hardly ever there. He left early for the day. I believe I'm being avoided. But now I got this. So now I'm being threatened. Now, I don't think this is, they can't arrest me for some bullshit child support. And by the way, the child support is paid up. What happened was somebody in the child support office decided to read my stipulation settlement where it says if my son's still in college, I have to pay child support till he's 22. But that's an agreement. That's not a law. And that I'm not going by that anyway. I've overpaid by, $50,000, so I don't care. But the child support office, they're telling me on the phone that they're enforcing the Supreme Court order. They don't have that authority to do that. They're not a court. But, you can't see these people. You always got to deal with them on the phone. And then if you go to their office, they say, well, we're only customer service. We can't do anything. So, you're basically screwed. Now, this is who you got to deal with. I'm convinced of it. So, if you do what I told you to do, you go to the clerk's office, you get on the letterhead that there is no order against you, and it looks just like this, all right? It's called the County Clerk's Office Judgment Docket and Lien Book, and it's actually in Family Court Act 460. They are not allowed to enforce an order in New York State. It has to be an out-of-state order. That's why it's federal child support. Federal is interstate. When you're dealing with a New York State order or whatever state you're living in, it's a state law. Okay, they just get away with it because they make it so much money, and the lawyers will never fight this. Okay, so the New York City Sheriff's Office would be the place to go. Again, I'm using this to my advantage. I'm notifying, I'm showing them all the evidence that there is no order recorded anywhere. I'm showing them the laws. And by the way, the New York City Sheriff's Department, I told you that they enforce the civil practice law rules in the Family Court Act. So I got them. I'm gonna use them to my advantage and say, listen, I don't owe them a penny. I need you to correct this, and I also need you to notify the child support people and tell them to stop harassing me because there is no court order. Now, I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to give it a good shot. But yeah, that's where I've been. I haven't made a video in over a month. I've been laying low because I just want to get this fixed. And as I said, I don't want to anger anybody and have them continue to stonewall me. I'm pretty close to having this stuff done. My only thing I really want is my money back. Anyway, I'm going to shut this video down, and I'll let you guys know what's going on tomorrow.